Welcome to the Focus on Why podcast. I'm Amy Rowlandson and I ask my guests one simple question. Why? Focusing on the importance of why, I share with you the relatable, uplifting and inspiring conversations I have with people from all walks of life. This podcast will encourage you to focus on your why to enable and empower you to achieve the success you desire. Have a purpose, have a plan, focus on why. Before we start, I would like to draw your attention to what I can offer you as a master coach. I can help you to focus on your why with clarity, uniting your passion with your purpose with a plan to create the life you truly desire. Book a free 20-minute coaching call right now via calendly.com/Amy Rowlandson/call, and we can take it from there. Today on Focus on Why, I am joined by Dajana Paliokaite. Dajana, welcome.
Hello, thank you. Thank you, Amy.
It's been a long time coming. I know I say that lots of times, but really it has.
I know we're all so busy and, we agree to something and it just takes forever to get it in the diary. But yeah, finally I'm here.
You are indeed. So what is it you're focusing on at the moment?
Thank you for asking, Amy. So currently my full passion, my full energy is on Mindset Kitchen. And you know what? I did not anticipate that I will say full energy because it does take a lot of energy, a lot of time, a lot of thought, and everything else that is followed by that. So filming in my kitchen with, I always say with extraordinary people, because people bring amazing mindset messages to my kitchen. I also cook to them. And I've been filming now since December and I am fully booked all the way through the summer. And so in between social media, in between networking events and making new connections, it's quite full on, but at the same time enjoyable.
Yeah, I love that. And what led you to the combination of food and mindset?
Good question. You know what? I think food connects people, just like music would connect people. To me, since I came to UK when I was 18, I was addicted to Saturday kitchen and Sunday brunch. Unbeknown to me, I'm doing something similarly, but I was so addicted because people were chatting and cooking, and I love talking about mindset, and I love food. I'm obsessed with food. So to me, that just kind of many, many years later fell in, and I am, I'm doing this. It's a passion for hosting as well. I love hosting people. I love making food from scratch and using ingredients that are just homemade. I'm really much into that rather than anything processed and shop bought. So having guests over, cooking for them and talking about my favorite things, I think it's just a no-brainer combination in my world.
What comes to mind for me is that phrase, food for thought.
Yeah, exactly. Food for thought. And you know what? The message behind this is actually much more deeper than just having guests over and cooking with them and all for them and hearing their mindset messages. Before coming onto your podcast this morning, I had a bit of a reflection. I had to think about deeply what is the message that I want to pass on in this short time that we have. And the fact that now I'm reflecting a lot and I'm able to question myself and see deeply what I'm about and why I'm doing certain things that I'm doing is the realization that I actually felt selfish for not sharing anything that I have and I've learned in this life to other people. But through my life here in UK, I have been slowly sharing the things that are within me that I've learned through my life, and people would give me compliments or feedback like, "Wow, Dajana, you need to tell this to other people." "Oh, I didn't know this about you. Well, that's why you are like that." Various things that made me realize, like, why am I being so quiet about all of this? Because by sharing the message to even a friend or a colleague or a stranger, I really help them. And I used to get messages, "Thank you, Dajana. Literally what you said made a whole difference to my day." And I just realized the impact that my story, my experience gives to people. So then slowly, I've been educating myself a lot in that sense. I'm always constantly learning and educated. And I think Amy can sympathize with that because you are one of the ladies who always learning about new things. And I'm obsessed about so many things. Like right now is neuroscience. I'm deeply into that. But I'm trying not to lose the thought there. But the experience 4 years ago when my husband passed away again made me to reflect deeply in what's happening to my world and how I'm dealing with it, then made me reflect on myself. And so because I am having this self-awareness, which is not always been there, but I'm so self-aware that I was instantly able to take the situation, which was the most painful in my life, and straight away look at it and say, well, right, what are we going to do about this? Because I am not going to waste any minute of feeling a victim perhaps or doing harm to my life, and wasting the precious moments that we are here. And so all of that as well contributed to my um to the passion for the mindset kitchen, because then I realized I can't do this on my own. I need other people. So I need these guests coming in with me. And I want people to also have conversations with me, because that's where I share my story. I didn't want to sit on my own and share my story. I felt like I wanted to be in some sort of a connecting relationship over food and over experience of the other who is at my kitchen. And that way, slowly, all my messages are slowly coming out. And with that, my goal is to realize, for everyone to realize, that we're not using everything that we have in this life. We're not using our brain and our soul and our energies fully to full potential. Because I'm doing that now and I know the difference. So that's in a long form why I'm doing this in a sense. I want to help others and I'm obsessed with it.
You started out by sharing that you had this passion for hosting and that you've got this realization through the art of reflection that you felt you were selfish. And I just want to ask you, what was it that you felt selfish in holding back?
I think when people, that's just generally from, let's say, I'm hearing from my friends or people who just meet and their perception of me. And many times we'll be like, oh, well, Diana, she'll be fine. And then, oh, Diana, oh, she's really strong. If she puts her mind to it, she'll do it. But I just never thought to tell people that where this is coming from. Why do you think I am like that? I was just born like this and had a beautiful life, and I'm just tough in natural form. I'm actually tough and disciplined and resilient because of a tough life I had. And majority of us will have a tough life. So why can't we all turn it on or turn it around? And I think that selfishness was when I realized the impact that a word, spoken word to people who can relate does. You can actually see people being helped and they're doing some things. And I think it's in humanity, as we love to help. And if we do help and they have actually hear people feeling better, making a change in their life, it uplifts us because we made to help each other. We made constantly be there for each other. And I think recognizing that, I felt a little bit selfish for not sharing why I'm like that and what I'm doing with it and why I'm like this, because it's a process. It's not, I am not just next day I woke up, yeah, this bad thing happened to me, I'm doing it. No, it's hard work and there is a certain process involved. But it's wanting to have that and wanting to do that. And yeah, so I decided perhaps not to hold on of my experiences anymore and share it to the world slowly. And I wanted a platform where it felt authentic, felt me. And I didn't want anything to be too rehearsed and too professional, because I am that kind of person. I'm very professional. I used to work in the banking. I'm used to kind of present almost this persona where I look all polished. My my outfit is nice, my hair is done, my makeup, my nails, my, everything. And then internally you have to behave extremely polite and, all the manners and everything else. And I love that. But I don't want to be that anymore. I want to be more relatable. So I want to apply, I want people to realize that this is not just for ex-bankers, professionals, anyone can do certain things in life.
And it brings to mind for me this distinction that you're making there is, for me, I believe that purpose is this overarching reason or aim that guides your life. And what sits beneath that at the foundation is the why, which is a meaningful emotional significance that you attach to your purpose. So what I'm hearing from you is you've got this incredible strength, but you're now allowing the vulnerability that sits beneath it to come through.
Exactly that. I actually got goosebumps, Amy, as she just said it, because
Yes, goosebumps is my sign that you are on purpose. That's it.
I love
Done.
it. I was like, yes. It's because people actually don't never seen me vulnerable in the first place, And by being imperfect, by doing mistakes and showing that I'm actually nothing like perfect. Nobody is perfect, right? But I'm far from it. And I'm actually looking at my own videos and really, really feeling uncomfortable and really feeling like, oh my God, why did I say this? Why did I do this? And my last video, I put a microphone through my shirt and I forgot to button the shirt. So you could see the button gaping into the camera. And I was like, the first impression, I'm like, oh no, whatever. You will see that it doesn't have to be perfect to do something. It doesn't have to be right. I will get wrong on so many occasions, and I welcome all these mistakes. I just laugh about it because now I will always button up all my shirt. It's never going to happen again. But yeah, it's a little silly example, but it's how I love mistakes now because they propel my growth much more faster than doing everything so perfectly that I used to be. And so vulnerabilities, we all vulnerable, and showing that to the world that whether you're strong or weak, it does not matter.
Yeah, you're learning with every fail. It's a powerful way to live. And obviously, we're not setting ourselves up to fail, but when we do fail in something, we know that there is a learning to be found within it. And it's only if we don't take that learning on board that we don't grow. So from that perspective, absolutely. And it's funny, isn't it? You're saying that you're watching back the videos and you're feeling uncomfortable. If you weren't recording them and you wouldn't have that discomfort, you'd just be in the moment having fun, talking,
Exactly.
cooking lunch with someone. So it's that extra dimension of knowing that it's going to be shared with lots of other people that brings in the discomfort.
Exactly that. And you know what, Amy? I also, every time I go to film, I'm still nervous. I'm still anxious. And that's again me looking into myself as saying, well, if I wasn't, then what's the point of doing it? So I want to feel nervous. I want to feel anxious. And once those feelings stopped, it means I'm kind of like plateau now. What is next? So these all feelings indicate in me a good signal that I am still growing, and that discomfort is it's uncomfortable. I know, and so many times I would wake up and like, oh, I'm filming today. I'm just really not feeling it, and many times I have migraine and lots of preparation and things don't go well, and you're like, oh no, now I'm scared about that thing not going well again. And then I have to do that self-awareness. We're like, okay, no. You don't focus on the things that don't go well. You focus on things gone right, and the things that didn't go well, we're going to adjust them. So it's a lot of internal work that is, I am sure loads of entrepreneurs and people who have their own business goes on, because there's nobody else really telling you this is right, this is wrong. It's all you, and you processing the information in a certain way. So I think having the self-awareness to process information in the way that works for you is extremely important and not sabotages you. Because I think many times I sabotaged myself in so many times, and made myself smaller and made myself literally nobody in front of anyone. Like, or I even used to say I'm really not a smart person, so I'm not gonna do all these things, you know. And yeah, I would never say that now. It sounds weird if I said that to myself.
Well, it is interesting, and it's the various inner dialogue that we have that goes on constantly, which is designed to keep us safe. It's designed to help us to move forward, but in a way that's not going to put you at any risk. You mentioned the self awareness that you have been experiencing, particularly over the last 4 years. What is it that you can do or you are doing to ensure that you are not wasting precious moments?
Wow, Amy. Should have sent me this question beforehand. Well, you know what? What is precious moment? To me now, precious moment actually realizing that I can do anything I want in this life with the right mindset. So precious moments are being able to control your mind so that it doesn't really interfere with living your life fully. My precious moments are actually freedom and being able to be there for for my son, um, and be there as as good mom as I try to be. And I think since 4 years, I think I always say that as a chapter, and the loss of my husband has, in a way, opened my eyes. And I know you have spoken on your podcast to various people about spirit world and universe and energy, and I looked into those into great depths, to the point that I could connect to spirits and do mediumship and psychic readings. Never really needed, in a sense that it wasn't my plan or goal. My plan or goal was to find my husband and to see he's okay. It's like, what's happened? Why is this happening? And I found all those answers there, and then somehow I overgrown that. Whilst I know my husband is with me in the spirits, we don't die. I am growing continuously in that sphere, and learning how to really connect to the different dimensions and all the quantum world that has all these possibilities for us and for human mind that I'm exploring right now. So the self-awareness allows me to not waste any time on being negative, sabotaging myself, spending time with people who do not respect my time, appreciate time, and being present. Because negativity, I think, gets you into kind of this vicious cycle of going and like a what do you is it like a tornado, and you can't stop it. Once you learn how to stop it, the tornado comes, but you quickly stop it. And that means you just did not waste the time to be in the long tornado, because the tornado then starts grabbing and attaching other things in your life. And then everything is just going wrong, and the energy around you is wrong. And that is truly a waste of time. I felt when I realized that we are able to stop the negativity with your mind, and then invite positivity and remain positive as long as you can. It's amazing. But I am human like everyone else. I get anxious. I wake up in a grumpy mood, hormones and all sort, and then I'm having to navigate even higher realms of how do I get out of this, or I just wait for Friday to come, and Monday to Friday, I just wait for this day. But there are ways as well to still allow yourself to be like that. Allow yourself, it's okay, we're human, we show emotion and feel emotion. It will pass. So it's being kind to yourself at the same time. That awareness helps as well. Don't know if I answered your question or I drifted off.
We're talking about precious moments, and you started with the understanding that you can do anything, that you have the ability to control your mind so it doesn't interfere with the freedom. And the freedom, I just wanted to explore a bit more about what freedom means to you.
Freedom, it could be in different, I guess I would divide them into career wise and then personal life wise, and or perhaps mind freedom wise as well. So when I quit my banking job, I had the more freedom to do anything else. But at the same time, I had to think of how do I make income and how do I have money to continuously live the life that I want to live. And it's the freedom to come up with idea and try it. It's the freedom to try your idea, not at 8 a.m. in the morning, but maybe when it comes to at 3 p.m. Little things, a freedom, or be there at every um, um, parents meeting for my son, or he's got swimming gala on Wednesday, and I'm going to do that with him. And I would feel bad at work asking to take out 2 hours of the day or half a day to do that. So it's that freedom to do the things you love the most and be with people you love the most. It's amazing. And the freedom of mind is where you're no longer being controlled by external environment and a negative internal environment, but you have freedom to choose. You have a choice of a thought. You have a choice of mind. Actually, I never used to think you have a choice to have a certain mind, but you have. You have two choices always. Positive, negative, you can call, or good or bad. And you choose. You can choose to go away from a certain mind. And once you realize you can choose, you really try hard to try and choose and stick to it. And it's like a muscle, you keep on trying and trying, and then suddenly this neural path gets created stronger and stronger in your brain, and then you actually no longer think the negative bit anyway. And then suddenly you are free to do anything you want with your thoughts. Yeah.
And you mentioned about being a good mum. How does having this new self-awareness and shift in mindset affect your relationship with your son?
Mm. You know what? It's amazing because I can see when I'm angry, and then I apologize him for being angry. I can see when I'm impatient or shouting at him, and I would apologize for that. I don't think I would ever do that if I didn't have that awareness, because you would just think the child should take it. I was angry, we move on. But he's a human, he got shouted at. Let's go back and say, I'm so sorry I shouted. I'm a little bit, irritated today or having a bad day, but we're going to fix it, and it's nothing to do with you. So this one of these little things that are so important for child to realize. And also, a good mom is, I think, a present mom as well to me. I may not be perfect mom, and I may not, fulfill all his needs, but being there for him presently, and giving him a childhood that he deserves that I didn't have, it's a gift. And I think, as you would know, Amy, you have two children as well. You know that as a mom, you just grow as that person. It takes time and understanding what is a good mom to you, because I think we live all from past experiences and learn from other parents, and I know what I don't want to be, what kind of mom. So then I try all the other things that I want to be.
So, with all of what you've shared, do you have a defined purpose?
I think when I look at defined purpose, there are two things. First, live authentically as you. So be you. Do not try to compare yourself. Do not try to be anyone else. And live the way that you can continuously grow. So the purpose for you to do that, to love yourself and have the self-care, is that then you can help others, or you can be a great friend, you can be a good mom. So the purpose as a human is to continue evolving and then sharing that. That's kind of like my mission right now. I don't want to say things that I have not experienced myself or haven't done. So I'm constantly learning because I want to learn new things, and then I can pass them on. I can then have a conversation with someone from the certain area and understand what they're saying, and contribute because I've done the same thing. So my purpose is to live authentically, grow, continuously grow, so I can impact others and help others. Because we I think I've been sent on this earth for certain mission, you know. I've not been sent to just go to work, earn money, go to my holidays, and just do that. It just feels a little bit not enough. It feels like I'm living selfishly. But when I'm not living selfishly is when I'm sharing to the world what is possible, and I am the kind of engine that is absorbing everything else so that others do not have to go through that, and others can actually adapt that kind of change, or whatever the desire that they have to do in their lives much quicker. Yeah, I want to expand, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. And it's so interesting, isn't it? I mean, the purpose of life, why are we here? What are we supposed to be doing with our life? They're two very different questions, actually. One is about your purpose, and one is about the purpose of life in itself. And it's really interesting. I spend a lot of time distinguishing the two. And I'm not the first person this has been the case. These two questions, particularly, have been contemplated in humanity for millennia. It's what it is, and there is no answer, because it's up to the individual to define their reason for being. And it's lovely what I'm hearing, what you've shared, and how you've grown, and what your plans are in terms of how you're going to bring that presence of knowledge to your son and to the world by sharing your message. What is it that you feel sort of bubbles to the top as being important?
I think quite a few things, to be honest. Before, when I started Mindset Kitchen, it wasn't. I actually don't really pay attention too much at certain things, you know, to in order to think, oh well, I'm heard. I know there will be people who need the most. They will hear. I just know. So it's almost like when you do something and there is that click in your heart. It's almost like alignment. You feel it feels so right, and it does not really matter anything else. It feels so right. So now I've been filming since December, and I've been getting so many nice messages, and even friends and just people that I know been texting me, I've watched this episode, I loved it. And even the episode with you, Amy, my neighbor told me she was in the hospital and watched the episode, and she loved it. She absolutely, she says she never heard anything like that before. She never had such a nice conversation, and she was so relating herself to you. And I was like, that's it. That episode done the job. You know, I'm hoping there are more people who relate. But to me, that had the click. That's it. You know, thank you. And I said to her, thank you for telling me. That's just exactly what I wanted to achieve, and you gave me that message. So each episode, I think, and each little step of my personal growth, and when I release the episodes, that's my passion. It's it keeps on growing and bubbling more and more, because I expand, and then I get more ideas, and then my head becomes like, oh my god, I can do this, and I could do this. This is how I can do this. So I am bigger than my body, you know, and it's I'm bursting because I always need so much help. I need help from other people to do the big things that I want to do, and I have a huge passion for certain things. Like I would love to have a charity, for example, to help young people with grief, and you know, and I know I'll get there. I know. So it's all about having a ripple effect, you know, and having that. It's almost like spreading little bits everywhere, and slowly changing people's lives, changing the world. You know, when people say, well, you can't change the world. Well, if we all think we can't change, then the world definitely will not be changed. But if we all think we can change the world, imagine we actually could. So I want to inspire everyone to think that they can change the world. They can change their own worlds and other people's worlds. Because that's how powerful we are.
Yeah, we have infinite options available to us. And It's what I do. It's what you're doing to purely put on a platform that is accessible freely for people to access and to instigate that action through, as you shared earlier, through reflection. But it's through the purposeful steps that then come as a result of that where the magic happens. Dajana, thank you so much for sharing just a morsel of your insights of what you're doing, where you're going to go and what you love to achieve. And you know, you and I could speak for hours. In fact, we do. For now, how can people get in contact for you? What's the best way?
So I have mindsetkitchen.co.uk website. You can find all the details there, my socials, my email. Please feel free to contact for various reasons. I am on LinkedIn as well, either for feedback, for help, or for anything else. I'm always here.
Amazing. Thank you. It has been an absolute privilege to have you on the show. So thank you really from the bottom of my heart, from all of my heart. I'm so glad that not only did you get goosebumps, but we have had the opportunity to articulate what it is that your goosebumps are for, the reasons and the purpose. So thank you. Do you have some final words for the audience?
Good question. You know what? I would say to everyone who's listening to this podcast, whether they're going through something difficult or not, and if they will go through something difficult, take everything you experience as a huge lesson to actually grow, and take everything with huge appreciation. It's going to make a huge difference to the world. Because being appreciative and being grateful for your life, for actually being here, it's one thing that we all can do, and one thing that can really change everything. So gratitude and appreciation.
How has this conversation had an impact on you? What value have you received from tuning in? What are your reflections with actions? Please take a moment to leave me an Apple Podcast or Spotify review sharing how Focus on Why has made a difference to you today. Remember, the conversation doesn't end here. To keep it going, simply connect with me on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook or Twitter, or join the Focus on Why Facebook group. All the links are in the show notes. Have a purpose, have a plan, focus on why.